The Wild West. Warm weather on the island of New Florida was the best because the trains were being really useful on the tracks. Jack and the Sodor Construction Company were starting work on a new railroad museum. This is a very special project, said Miss Jenny, and the artifacts are priceless. So remember, safety first, called Brenda and Nelson. Then Becky arrived with the cargo. Special cargo delivery, she said. Then George came up. Railways are no good. Turn them into roads. Pull them up. Turn them into roads. Sounds funny, said Max. It does, said Monty. And then they rev their engines and then set off. Wow, that's fun. Watch out! Cried Alfie. And they both drove away. We're driving near the railroad tracks. We're going to deliver our goods on time. Then, wait for me, called George. Watch for trains, warned Alfie. They can come by any minute. Yeah, he's right, said Jack. But Max and Monty didn't listen to Jack and Alfie. They were feeling pleased with themselves. Then they smashed into a house and George splashed into the lake. That was funny, he said. So Max revved his engine and pulled George out of the pond. It's muddy of me to be like this, said George as he didn't say thank you. Then Max put a rock on the tracks, and it was laying there for a long time when Percy came into view with his mail train. He had delivered mail to Notham. Cinders and ashes, peeped Percy. He didn't see the rock until it was too late. Oh no, he cried. It was my fault for running over the rock, and now my wheel is broken, moaned Percy. Meanwhile, James brought some materials. They were expensive. Then he came to see Percy. He puffed with all his might. His wheel slipped. I can do it, he said. And at last he pulled Percy back upright. Thanks, James, he said. Traditional railways are important to me. The next day, Mr. Cakester had a job for Becky. Alexia is being renovated today, he said. You must help her bring a passenger test train. I'd love to do it, sir, said Becky, and she steamed out of the yard. She shunted her coaches into place, and she and Becky puffed off. Thank you for helping, Becky, puffed Alexia. I bet Dwee and the other engines would like this job too. Their train was full of passengers and on board. They arrived on time at Gortham Junction, and Alexia was just in time. Then Ida pulled up. Why don't you take the train while I try and shunt those cars? Sounds like a plan, said Ida. So Alexia shunted some freight cars into place. Becky looked at the line of freight cars in front of her. They looked like diapers and all the child products. She pushed with all her might. Her wheels slipped and they slipped. The preschool products are heavy, moaned Becky. I can do it. She pushed with all her might. And they were full of child products. And then the brake block snapped off completely, and Becky took off! Come back, Becky! Called Alexia. But Becky didn't hear her. She was out of control and she was pushing them as fast as she could. Then she rocketed down the hill. Help! Moaned Becky. These cars can't stop! And then she went right into the siding, straight into a pair of buffers! The troublesome trucks had laughed, and then smoke began to rise over the mountains as yellow smoke went into the air. It was astronomical. Luckily, no one was hurt, but Becky was tilted on her side, covered in baby powder. Then Alexia pulled up with Mr. Cakester. He was ashamed. You need to wait until the brakes are released, said Mr. Cakester. Then you can get going, and also wait for a brake van next time or a trailing unit. He said firmly. That has caused confusion and delay. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir, moaned Becky sadly. I'll be back on the tracks in no time, said Alexia. So, Alexia pulled Becky back onto the tracks. Thanks, Alexia, Becky said. Let's try again and deliver the new child product to the building site Jack and his friends are working on, she said. I'd be happy to, Becky, Alexia said. Becky and Alexia made their way through the countryside with all the child products on board. Their preschool train was long, but Alexia's driver and fireman were in her cab while Becky was trailing behind. They arrived on time. Jack was pleased. We'll put them in trailers, he said. Then Megan was pulling an empty transition car, and George was rolling and he crashed into Megan. Oh, sorry about that, said Megan. Then Max and Monty were driving on the tracks and they bumped Megan. Ow, she said. You're not allowed on the tracks, puffed Alexia. They're dangerous. We'll just have a race. And vroom, vroom, bellowed George. Then they raced away. Then Lauren was shunting rusty cars. Look out, she cried, but it was too late. Sorry about that, said Lauren. I didn't see you there. Miss Jenny spoke severely to George. I'm very embarrassed with your temper, George, he said. Train tracks are dangerous and they're expensive. I'm sorry, Miss Jenny, she said. As for you two, she said to Max and Monty, you have caused lots of trouble, and I'm not happy about it at all. But Max and Monty didn't care. Then Dwee arrived to collect George. I'll have you to the works in no time, said Dwee. Then Mr. Cakester will have you feeling better. And she steamed out of the yard. I hope you don't embarrass Miss Jenny again, puffed Dwee. I won't, said George. I'm sorry I did. He was enjoying himself. But then there was trouble ahead. A track switch ahead from Becky's freight cars sent Dwee one way and George the other. They were malfunctioning. Oh, help! Cried George. He was out of control. Someone stop me, please! He cried. Then he ran into some rocks. He was speeding, you know. I must catch up, George! I must! Puffed Dwee. Sam was picking up logs when she heard George coming. That's weird. I haven't heard George like that. Then, what in the world? Gasped Sam. I must catch up! I don't like that speed, Dwee! Whined Sam. But George was out of control and he didn't see the siding until it was too late! He was catapulted into the air like an airplane. He flew into the air. It was unusual. Look at this! I'm flying! Said George! Then there was a passenger train that looked like a toy. It had engines on both ends. Look at that! The passengers started taking pictures! George was flying non-stop. Flying steamroller coming through! He said. Then he dipped down. Ah! Screamed George! I can't stop! But it was too late! He was on his side in the water. It was astronomical. Ha ha! No one saw me! George said. A monkey wouldn't drive me! Then a tugboat arrived. It was to take George to the garage to be repaired. I'll be happy to help, said the captain. After George was repaired, the engines were safe in their shed, hoping that George would never come back again. Don't you?